Welcome back, everybody, to Game 5 of this semi-final SQ1 Summer Split Summer Season. I am CJ. I just said Summer twice, and with me is still Varus. We are just coming off of an immense high, coming off that fourth game, dude. We have seen back and forth from both these teams all the way through this series. What do you think is going to happen in this last champ select, Varus? Who's going to adapt? What's going to change? What's going to happen?
Shame Orthrus gaming didn't go 2-0, otherwise I could have said reverse sweep G2 style. But, you know, that didn't happen. I still believe it's still going to be high momentum, high pace game. And Orthrus gaming have blue side. I think you want to play as mind games as possible. You want Vuptrox to ban Mordekaiser. That opens you to first pick in Aatrox, and I think that's what you want to do. Sovaki has been prevalent on lane bully champions. So him being Aatrox into possibly Urgot again, I think is really good for him. I think that's what they should aim for, and don't draft him a tank. He's such a good bully laner that's what they should be drafting him. He creates so much pressure and opens up more freedom to Kaijack to just sit mid. And I think that's what they need to be doing.
Yeah, if we examine the bans that Orthrus, or rather the Vuptrox Gaming had last time, they seem to have perfected for blue at that stage. They had Chiana, they had Vlad, they had Silas, Aatrox, and the last one was something else that I have forgotten that was good. I don't remember what it was. But I think something that they maybe could look to swap, because if Orthrus has blue side and you don't want to give up Mordekaiser, maybe you can swap out the Silas. The Silas is the one ban that we have always seen, and we have not seen Orthrus Gaming play it at all because they've never had the chance. But we know how strong the Aatrox is. We've seen how strong the Mordekaiser is. Is it time to let the Silas loose and just make sure you get rid of the Aatrox and the Mordekaiser?
I don't think so. Not at all. Silas is just that scary of a flex pick that he can go 3 different lanes. 4 if you want to go for a spicy bot lane.
Sona, that was the 5th ban. The other's Sona. Obviously, I don't think Vuptrox want to see that again.
Yeah, not at all. So I don't think Silas will come through ever, because it's just such a reliable pick. You can throw him top, you can throw him mid, you can throw him jungle. He has a lot of good matchups in both mid and jungle, so just keep him off the table, I think, and keep him off. Yeah, he didn't want to face him anymore.
So if we look at Orthrus Gaming then, are they going to switch their bans up? Because they've now got a potential Azir to deal with. Chrissy had a mean Ezreal that was doing great. Lepiggy on the Morgana. Do Orthrus Gaming need to change their game up to adapt to what Vuptrox have clearly shown they have in the back pocket?
I definitely think you do need to, because we've seen the Skarner come out from Vuptrox. We've seen it very prevalent. I think if you're Vuptrox, you need to think they're going to first pick Mord or Orthrus Gaming 100% if you leave it open. So that has to be banned here. That has to be your 3rd ban, unless you have a plan in motion. Never mind, it's banned. Unless you got a plan in motion for it, which they don't. So I want to see Aatrox here personally, and I think that'll be prevalent for you because you can even flex it to mid. It's still a possibility. And I believe Rengar could play that champion. It sort of fits his play style.
I bet he could, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I want to see. I want to see that, and I want to see Vuptrox having a game plan in mind. I want Anivia not on Syndra still, and I want a game plan already ready for them.
Kaijack's taken the Sejuani there. This does leave things like the Skarner still open. They could maybe even look to take the Aatrox away, though we haven't seen Endorser pick it so far. And in general, he has had rougher lanes against Souvlaki Eater. Though, I mean, what is the counter to that? If Endorser takes Aatrox now and there's no Mordekaiser, what's the actual threat for Souvlaki to pick up?
Camille and Fiora. They're 2 of the harshest matchups. Camille is extremely good against him right now. So they're 2 of the best matchups you could pick. I'm very happy they picked up Skarner in this first rotation. Vote popped off on it, and I wanted to see it again. And Lepiggy had an amazing game on Morgana. I actually secured a lot of these kills in the bot lane through the plays he was doing and the bindings he was hitting. He was so accurate with a lot of the bindings that why not pick it up in first rotation?
Yeah, I think that they wanted to take it here just because they probably expected a ban against it in that second rotation. They aren't going to get the Morgana Ezreal. Fair has picked that one up early on, and I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that Chrissy and Lepiggy were looking so scary on that combination, and when you had Chrissy on Ezreal and you didn't have to dedicate time to keeping him alive, he was finding times to go aggressive. He was going in left, right, and center, doing huge amounts of damage, and Fair had a fairly comparable performance in game 2. He had a good game on Ezreal as well, so I think it's a good takeaway. And that has been matched up with a Zilean. Now, is this going to be a support Zilean? Because I don't think it fits into Rengar's playstyle.
It's definitely going to be support Zilean. Hold the gates, boys. The old man's coming out. And I do like it. It is considered really good into Morgana. I personally never played it. I don't really play bot lane, so I don't know how well it will go. But it all depends on what AD carry to pick. If they pick a short range AD carry, it can be very prevalent. Zilean can be really annoying against short range ADCs, like the Kaiser, like the Vayne. Can be really punishing. So now the option is, what a Vuptrox going to pick for AD carry here?
Yeah, I think that the Kaiser, like you say, wouldn't be the best option perhaps for Chrissy, but I mean, it depends what they want to do. His Kaiser games weren't bad by any means, just less impactful. And there's arguments to be made that it was the rest of his team that was somewhat of a cause, but the Kaiser's been banned away. They now know they've let the Azir through. Instead of hard target banning Vuptrox's mid laner, they've let him get comfortable on Azir, and now they're banning away ADCs to try and squish Chrissy's pool.
So I've got something for you.
Ooh.
If it's not banned here, Kate Morgana's open.
Ooh, it is. It's
Kate Morgana is a very strong and scary lane. You're able to siege for like 9 years.
Caitlyn and Azir as well.
Exactly. Just so much range, so much potency. It would be really good for Vuptrox if they draft it, if it gets through. I think Orthrus is sort of thinking, what else can we ban? What else is priority here?
There it goes.
They do ban the Caitlyn. They are smart. I'm happy.
Yeah. And I mean, on the side of Vuptrox, they did take away the HR. Is the solo laners that are yet to be picked up by Orthrus, as Sivir gets locked in for Chrissy. I do like this safe pick. The spell shield can do wonders for them in this matchup, and it still gives Chrissy room to hyper carry.
I like it, but I don't like it. So hear me out.
Oh no.
Again, it's a short range AD carry into Zilean. There's enough spells from Ezreal to get a spell shield out, so you can actually get the double bomb off with a lot of freedom. And I feel like you could have probably just picked something like a Jinx and backlined really well. You've seen Chrissy lane really well, and if he just lanes really well and smart on Jinx, she's going to come online in no time and just sit back with rockets, not even needing to get close like Sivir has to. This is why I don't like the Sivir pick. I get the idea, speeding up Skarner, but I don't like it at all. And short range AD carry into Vlad, not fun. Not fun at all.
When it comes down to it, if Vlad's got flash up, is Jinx going to have any more luck getting away from Vlad than Sivir is? Or are they just going to die?
I think you've still got more safety with the Jinx. You're still going to be further back than what Sivir's going to be. So, I still think the Jinx would have been fine into the Vlad.
And looks like they've gone for the Mundo top lane as well. So Vlad is running blind as well, and they have taken the Urgot on Endorser. So now we've seen Urgot into several matchups today. We've now got it into Mundo. Is this one actually favor Urgot, or is Sublaki going to have an easier time today?
This one should heavily favor Urgot, but I don't believe Kajak is going to leave it to be that. I don't believe it's going to be that much freedom, especially when Sovaki has an auto reset for Kajak, so it's very easy to get the stun off, very easy to actually get a kill on him. The reason Urgot's pretty good, your legs do % health damage, which is a lot of damage, and you also got the execute. So you can get him low enough to literally just execute him before he even sustains, and that's going to be the main job of the Urgot, and I think that's what they're going to try to do, but the execution is going to be the other question of how they're going to do it. Is Kajak going to sit this lane? Is he going to impact mid? That's what we need to wait and find out.
Yeah, the last time Rengar had the Vlad on deck, we saw him pick up solo kill to Heloit's. And see if that happens once again, as we were praising Heloit's Inivia's ability to stay alive on the Azir and just not get crumbling under the pressure, and was doing great damage. We saw him do that amazing Sarima shuffle right at the end to secure the victory for Vuptrox Academy. So if he can keep himself stable again and not fall behind Rengar's pressure, we might see him actually able to once again have more of an impact here. but I think the question mark's got to be on Kajak. When he comes mid, it normally goes in the favor of Orthrus Gaming.
And we've seen that very prevalent. It's worked in a lot of the games, and Vuptrox just need to focus that. They need to focus the way of protecting them. It's honestly a simple way. It may seem like a waste of gold. It's literally putting a pink ward, even outside of a bush near the raptor camp, like on the other side of it. And that just gives you that extra bit of reaction time where you can run down to the river. Sure, you're going to lose that pink ward, but that's going to save your life. 75 gold for saving your life is a small price to pay.
Exactly, especially when you're dropping kills over onto Rengar's. Well, he translated those when given the chance in Game 3. Now, if we look down to this bot lane, we've seen them both. We've heard how we think about Chrissy's pick into the team at large for Orthrus Gaming, but when it comes to the 2v2, which has been so pivotal for this series so far, how do you think this matches up? Important things, I guess, Fury's got the heal instead of any aggressive summoners as well, so they've got a lot of defensive survivability, but then Chrissy and Piggy had great bindings last game, so I mean, who's actually favored here?
I think Vuptrox. I'm sticking to this like I have the entire series.
Yeah.
No offense to Orthrus, I just think Vuptrox Academy's bot lane has performed way better this series, and have been way more consistent. And we're taking the Ignite into Zilean. That means the Grievous Wounds goes through on whoever he heals. That means they only revive with like a 20-25% health instead of 100% HP. Very important to note. And I feel like with how well the Piggy played on this Morgana, one binding hits into a Sivir Boomerang, you're nearly dead, or you may be dead already.
Yeah, big chunks potentially coming out there for Chrisley and the Piggy. And we have Varte on this Skarner as well, possibly coming down to support them here. We saw how much impact Varte had on the Skarner compared to his previous games. He was kind of falling off the map a little bit before, but in Game 4, he really came alive, had a huge amount of impact, was leading his team into these great plays in the same way that Kajak normally does for Orthrus Gaming. So now that he has that same champion, you think the Orthrus Gaming are going to be able to maybe play a little better around it, or if they're champions, or at least they do seem to be maybe a little better at dealing with Pig?
I don't think it's going to be as easy for them to pull off, for sure. But I do think Vuptrox are going to still play the Skarner game. They're still going to solely play around this pick by speeding them up with Sivir. It's going to be harder to escape them when you've got Sivir speed up for a Skarner. It's going to be easier to even pick off this Ezreal, Zilean, Vladimir, whoever he grabs. It's just going to be a massive amount of speed, especially with Predator on top. You've got to consider how fast that is going to be. You're going to see one speedy Skarner around and yoink one of your teammates out of your hands.
Yeah, we have seen some very explosive sudden plays coming off the back of this pick, and in general throughout this series. I think that someone I'm particularly keeping my eye on is Fair this game. He's had his ups and downs this series, we shall say. He's on at least a pick which gives him a little bit more leeway, but when you're flashing over a wall into 3 people to die in trade, even if you're Ezreal, you're still going to die at that point, normally, right? So I'm interested to see if Fair is going to keep it under control. When he was in the Vayne Brom lane, they were the ones being aggressive and the ones getting it turned around on them again. So overall, it just seems like Fair go in equal Fair die. So maybe if he's able to calm himself down a little bit with this defensive lane matchup that he has, maybe he'll be able to get back to that Game 2 and 3 performance where he actually had a much better standing.
I feel like if they had a coach, they're just going to clip that voice of you saying that and then just play that on repeat to him when he goes forward. I feel like he's never going to live that down now because of you. But you're not wrong. At any point, you're not wrong. Every time they've gone forward, they've been the ones losing the trades. I just don't think they have the same synergy Vuptrox bot lane does have.
And it was very punishing for them across this series when it goes south for them. Overall, I think they've put themselves in a good position at least to do as best as they can and to play defensively and play what they need to do. And it's going to come down, I think, a lot in the early game. It's going to come down to whether Rengar can get kills in mid, whether Vuptrox Academy's bot lane can get ahead. And then in top lane, I'm really not sure at this point. I think we've seen it go back and forth pretty, commonly, pretty frequently to either side. Maybe a little bit more in Suvlaki's favor, but that Mundo game did not look amazing.
That's the thing. It's hard to talk about top lane matchups in general because this top lane has swung either way in this series. it's very hard to say who's going to win and who's better, because when 1 point shows good, they do something the complete opposite like 2 minutes later. So it's very hard to even say who's going to perform better in that top lane.
And now, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, we are on Rift Game 5 of this series. Starting it up for you guys, Vuptrox versus Orthrus Gaming. This is for a spot in the finals. This is for every single marble that these guys own. And now, they've both learned, they've both employed this strategy at least once, and now they're going to both do it at the same time and find nobody.
And I'm happy both teams are doing this. This is a smart and reliable strategy, and it's a good way to get vision or even get a pick here. I think it's so good to do on both sides.
Yeah, especially you've got the Morgana on one side, and you've got Sejuani and the Mundo Cleavers as well. Both are pretty strong, CC confirmed tools at level 1, so they do both get in. No vision actually placed for the side of OG yet. They may go in and place a later ward on that top side, but at least Vuptrox, they've got some shallow ones into those brushes to see if anyone rotates back down to their normal lanes. Overall, nothing really gained or lost, but I do love to see some invades. This is what I would always say. The brief times when I've coached low-level teams was trying to get them to invade when they have a good invade team. It's much safer than people give it credit.
Yeah, main reason being, no matter what your team comp is, if you invade and you get some wards down, you have some indication to where they're going to start. That gives you some idea to where they're going to path or how they want to play it. Say, for example, you drop the ward at Raptors. You know they start red, and then they go to Raptors. You know they're either going towards that bot side next from the Raptor ward, or they're going for a full clear. It gives you so much information to how they want to play their game, and it also depends on what champion, of course. Like, for example, if it's a Jarvan, and you see him go past that Raptor ward, you know he's going for a Chief Gang.
Exactly, and you do not want to be caught up on the wrong end of that. They will see that Fair and Fury went straight to lane as well, so they'll know that Kajak started top lane, or at least they can be reasonably certain of that fact. So maybe the bot lane of Chrissy and Lapiggy, they've been playing very safe, very smart, as you said earlier, throughout this series, so they're unlikely to be caught out by any level 3 or 4 ganks from Kajak as he comes down, whereas Varte, he is going up to that top side, and Suvlaki is currently pushed in, so we might see an opportunity for a little gank up there.
One thing I also wanted to talk about, neither jungler showed any priority towards Jarvan. Wasn't banned.
Never.
It's been open this entire series. And the odd thing is, I think it suits both junglers' playstyle, but none of them decided to opt for it. Fair enough to pick the Skarner again for Vuptrox, it played very well. It did what you wanted to, and it amplified the game so fast for Vuptrox. So, no surprise there. But when you're looking at Kajak, someone hyper-aggressive, someone wants to get in your face. I'm really surprised there's no priority on the Jarvan here, and that picked instead of a Sejuani for them.
Yeah, there was a hover Jarvan, I believe, at one point, but didn't end up getting locked in. You see Lapiggy there placing a late ward into that river brush as we see Kajak coming into that river as well. Scuttle's going to be secured by the Sejuani here, but they are ready for this gank, as we said, so they know what they're dealing with, as Varte is going to secure that Spire and the Scuttle in that top side to even it up. Still pretty even so far. No real advantages gained, no ganks pulled off. We're going to wait for these junglers to pull their first move and see how successful it is. So now it looks like Kajak is going into that bot side jungle, steal away some camps.
So, a minor detail I want to touch upon. When Zilean bombs you in the bot lane, if you're Sivir and Morgana, what you will commonly see, they will purposely walk up to wave with the bomb to deny the AD carry CS. And it's a really good tactic, because obviously it denies them CS, or it can even deny them a freeze, a push, or whatever you want to do with it. So you can use the bombs in your advantage to some degree in this matchup. And even Sivir could just spell shield one for 3 mana.
Yes, can deal with that scene relatively well. Well, the spell shield comes out late, and I'll give it to him. Quick Mystic shot in there, gives the mana back. A nice another gentlemanly move, maybe to pay them back for not killing Suvlaki or last game. But either way, it is still relatively even across all of the lanes. Slight CS lead for Endorser in that top lane, but it's kind of matched by Kajak in the jungle, and the bot lane just pushed in a little bit, so they are naturally a little higher in CS. Overall, relatively slow pace so far this early game. Varte looking to make things happen. Here comes the Predator. It's going to be on vision, though. They spot it out. A flash forward binding by Lapiggy, inches away from clipping Fair. A very tight binding, or Arcane Shift, I should say, from him. And that's a pretty worth trade, getting the flash on Morgana just for your E.
And this is why Lapiggy's been so good on this Morgana. Him timing that really well to when Skarner was actually coming in that bot lane. He timed it so well that it was just an inch off hitting, and actually traded Zillion's flash for that. The vision was placed really well down by Orthrus Gaming to see Skarner already coming, but it backed off a little late and actually lose a flash for that.
You see on the bottom left of your screen there coming through the flash. It's so... I thought it was actually about... Oh! Vanishing and dissolving while it's almost on top of him. Very, very tight there. That could have been a first blood. And we know what Vuptrox bot lane likes to do when they get first blood. They do not waste that.
They do not at all. And they do have TP, so no surprise that they just reset him now. I'm gonna go back to lane. Just playing this really safe, playing it really smart. Both TPs come out from mid and AD carry. Let's get back to the lane safely. Sivir didn't actually... Oh, now it comes through.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it looked like she didn't pick anything up, but she comes through with a BF sword very late.
That would have been very unfortunate and not a great start. Something to pay attention to, I think, on Rengar is he's actually started the Doran's shield this game. He's not gone for the Doran's ring. Clearly afraid of the poke that Anivia is going to be bringing out on this Azir, and it seems to be playing out pretty much as you'd expect there. Anivia is holding his own in CS, has used that TP to stay on, and so far doing as they did last game, just kind of holding their own, being ready to rotate to a play if it happens, but so far, definitely not the dominating Rengar lanes that we've seen earlier in the series.
I think that also comes down to runes too. When you see an Azir with Comet, you know he's going to want to poke you a lot more, so he's just going for a more safe approach. Knows he's going to get poked in the lane, knows he's going to get like hard harassed down as much as possible, so just wants to go for more sustain. If Azir went towards Electrocute, he probably would have opted towards either a Dark Seal into potions to refillable, or a Doran's Ring start. So I think that's one of the main reasons, and I think that's why this lane's being played how it is, playing a lot safer.
Rengar took the TP as well, as opposed to the Ignite, which a lot of work for him in that game against the Syndra in Game 3. So definitely playing a lot safer, and they've actually committed to this 2v2. Flip on Kaijak, pop the ultimate as well. Quick walk away from them. The ultimate for Skarner still available, but that is going to be, I believe the buff was secured.
It was.
So that's
by Varte.
Yeah, so that's pretty nice for them, stealing that one away. Nice pressure there, knowing they have the strength advantage in that 2v2.
Yeah, it's a little questionable by Kaijak to actually stay around for that. I understand wanting to steal it back, but when you've got no pressure in the mid lane or top lane, there's just more members of Vuptrox being able to collapse on you, and that's why they lose both flashes for nothing.
Here we go, clearing out this vision, but Varte actually goes in. Here comes the Predator, the ult is still available. Nothing to be done. First blood, unfortunately, gets picked up by Lepiggy on the tormented soil. Doesn't go over to Chrissy as they would like, but it is first blood nonetheless.
And no hesitation played by Varte. He knows there's a ward there, and he's still going for it because he knows he can go for this with the Predator. And it helps that they have the on the hunt too. That helps a lot. Knowing that Morgana's level 5, that Zillion's level 5, there's no Zillion ult to come through.
No Zillion flash either. Nothing they could do to escape there. Another great piece of timing by Varte. This Skarner has just caused him to really come alive in this jungle role, so much more active. And he's really stepping up to Kaijak, who earlier on in the series looked just like he was outclassing him in some ways in the jungle. He was so smart in his objective control and his pathing. And now Varte, as I say, is really woken up, keeping his team in this one. And once again, it's Vuptrox taking that first blood. And I think in both of their victories, they did take the first blood.
So the thing to point out right now, I've been watching mid lane very closely, and the only time it's Anivia pushes is when Varte is around. That's the only time he ever pushes in that lane, and I've seen that more prevalent in this series.
Oh, the quick stun onto Varte gets chunked down very low. He's got to run away with his hail, but Fury has to throw some bombs down just to push Chrissy away as well. A TP actually came down from Subaki Eater. So they are going to try and secure this Dragon, I assume, just to make it worth it. Varte, they really wanted to take that fight against Kaijak and almost bit off more than he could shoot.
He's banking too much on the Morgana, backing him up there, thinking that the man advantage would actually help him, and then nearly paying with his life. There's a TP down to actually secure the Dragon. Makes a lot of sense because it's such an important Dragon. We've seen how much the double mountain mattered in last game. This time they don't want to hand any over, they want to get this Dragon back to the normal objective control by Kaijak, and he wants to stay on top of this.
Looks like Endorser will push in this top lane, at least probably securing a plate. He does get one for himself, and a bit of gold in his pocket, kept even CS. This is the first game where top lane has really been relatively uneventful at this point. Endorser's on a comfort pick, Tsubaki are just on a nice tank that he can kind of sustain through on. And overall, this top lane has been a little quiet. It's been more around this bot lane again that has been the focus. And this is the point that I think Vuptrox, they are happy to see. They want to force fights around this bot lane because they are performing so well in them.
And they're happy to sit safely in the top. With Urgot having the cull, he just wants to sit and farm that up. He's just gonna get an extra gold lead for nothing, just from being in that lane and CSing. And that's all he's gonna do. Drops the plate there, sure, it's fine. Kaijak is here, Varte is here, sorry, to make a play in the top lane.
This has come around, the cleaver landed the slow, there is an ultimate available. Here it comes now, here comes the ultimate, Fear Beyond Death has gone down. Okay, they need to get him a smidge lower the flash forward. The Fear Beyond Death actually runs out, but they are still going to secure this kill. Flashes were used, ults were used, but at the end of the day, they still kill off that window.
Seems like when we talk about something in the top lane,
yeah, dude.
They want to prove us wrong. Talk about a quiet top lane, they're like, you know what, I'm going to kill Zavaki for that. And go straight towards the Rift Herald.
Yeah, this is another game, the second game in a row that is Arte actually Herald. They're going to secure it this time. Kaijak losing control of his favorite buff isn't going to get this Herald, and I feel like this might spell the future for this game. Vuptrox, they're looking more similar to they were last game. It's not quite as immensely in their favor as it was, but they're still relatively controlled bot lane. Top lane's going better than them from usual, and Anivia is just chilling in that mid lane, and they're picking up objectives. This is really good signs for them.
It is really good signs, and I'm happy to see that they're paying more attention to this Rift Herald, because a lot of teams don't realize it is very easy to solo, especially in the early game, that it's just a very easy free buff to pick up for your team, which can secure you a lot of plates. And securing it early means that the plates are still going to be up, because the plates drop at 14 minutes. So being able to secure plates for your team, very important thing to do, very important to actually prioritize Rift Herald, and I can't stress that enough.
We'll see if Arte opts to take the same strategy as Kaijak to drop it mid lane just to get pressure in there, or if they maybe try and actually tower. Turning, he has no business being here. There's no ultimate available, no slowing either, but he might still get shut down here. Varte, he's got that slow. Here comes the stun coming in. The ultimate has propped. Now Tsubaki is getting shot down, but Kaijak, he's coming in the wings. They cannot kill him fast enough. Here comes the ultimate. Now it's Varte getting turned around on. A beautiful stopwatch is only going to keep him alive for a little longer. It's actually going to be turned around completely on its head. It's a 2v2 double kill for Tsubaki Eater on the back of Kaijak.
Kaijak there again to actually deny any kills in this lane this time. There at the right time, perfect Sejuani ulti to actually save his top laner. You can see him coming in, snipes the Skarner with the ult. And Skarner's the prime target because he is lower HP here. He had to pop the stopwatch to stay alive a little bit longer, but it means nothing. He's still going to drop down here.
There's nothing they could do. The lack of ultimates really hurting, or lack of Skarner ultimate specifically really hurting them, as Varte could not drag the window back to the tower. And now he's going in for another 1v2, and Dorso, his thunder is going to get stunned up, but the tower shots dissuade Kaijak from coming in. Varte, he's coming in for round 3 to support his top laner. Endorser now waiting behind the tower. Varte, he's going for that 1v1. Doesn't have the ultimate still yet. There is not one on Urgot either. He used it in that earlier fight, so they can't secure any of the kills. Either of those would be solid targets for the ultimate if it was available.
This is going to be the tower. It's very low.
You're right, they're so low. They're just going to get pushed away from here. They cannot adequately defend this one, and this is going to be huge. Here comes the TP. Rengar's coming in. This is how it turns around. They're not going to get the tower, and looks like they're probably going to get it turned around on them as well. The flash in from Rengar, an easy kill onto the Urgot. Now Varte is just trying to pick up something, anything, and will not get it. They get no tower, and a double kill goes over to Rengar. Something I was looking to come back to was, how's Rengar going to do if he doesn't get early kills? Well, I guess that's scuppered, huh?
There's that TP play coming through. Don't need to get anything in lane when you can get stuff elsewhere.
Yeah, he's just going to pick those easy kills up top lane. Anivia is going to trade that turret for a nice bit of gold back in Vuptrox's pocket, evening it up more or less, but then the turret falls down for Rengar in the top lane as well. Suddenly, what looked like such a solid early game from Vuptrox is falling apart on the back of their own plays.
It is indeed, and the thing, if I was a coach of Vuptrox, I'd be shouting at Endorser right about now, for 2 reasons. Endorser in the early game, when he was building towards his Black Cleaver, he picked up 2 long swords. that already is alarm bells for me. Because when you're picking up 2 longswords and not getting executions calling against Mundo, especially when you're putting pressure on top, trying to kill Mundo, you need this. I feel like it's such a greedy oversight to not actually pick it up in the early game. Said he picks up now, which is too little too late, because you've already been making the plays in the top lane. Now you have it when you're not. It doesn't add up to me.
That's a little bit of a misstep there. Maybe a little Game 5 nerves. Dorser, they are all so close to pulling up another amazing upset. Would it be the upset of the season, probably, if they took this Game 5 series? They're committing for this dragon. They've got all 5 members here. Kajak comes in for it. He's going to simply escape over after blast coning in, and it's going to be at least a Cloud Drake over to Vuptrox.
And that dragon is so important for Vuptrox, because it's going to help with your rotations. And talking about rotations, Skarno is here in the bot lane.
Here comes the flash straight onto the edge. The Zillion ult comes down, the binding and the TP as well, completely forced them away. See Blacky Eater, he is pushing them back. The cleavers are coming out thick and fast. They've got a nice minion wave to block, and Kaijak's in the wings waiting to see if they turn. But that is just going to be it. They've got the TP out, which has got to be good value. And then Nivea, he's shoving tier 2 mid lane.
Shoving tier 2 mid, and it's an Azir. Azir pushes towers pretty fast, but the action is in the top lane right about now. Onto the Urgot.
On Dorsa's shield will keep him alive there. The turret does go down mid lane, but he might have to give up this top lane tower. Sticking around is pretty risky business. Rengar without the empowered Q, it must be said, but there's really no MR on a Dorsa. Just he flashes in, he goes in for
big outplay.
Dorser! He absolutely turns it on its head. We said he looked a little shaky earlier on. He is looking in control right now.
Just when we talk about it, he goes for the outplay, knows the minions are low, goes for the clear. Vlad walked up. As soon as Vlad walked up, he goes for the E flash, knowing that you can buffer the E flash. Catching him off guard.
There's no minions, no empowered heal, no ult. Man, Dorser, what a ballsy play there. Takes him out. A nice shot.
The thing there as well, if he dies to Vladimir, Vlad is still going to die there. So the play is worth it in its own, because Vladimir's not going to get that tower, and you just got a tier 2 for free. Tier 2 over tier 2 top, like, it's so worth getting that tier 2 mid over a tier 2 top. It's so good for your team.
Yeah, they are keeping abreast in gold. Extended a 500 gold lead now, mostly off the back of this tower, I'd imagine, plus a little bit of a CS lead extending the bot lane into Chrissy's pocket and those early plates they got. They're keeping themselves in this one, and now you got to think, where does the scaling lie? There's a Sivir and an... Oh, hang on a second. Forget the scaling. See, Black Eater is going to get fought now. Sindorser throws the Fear Beyond Death wide. A field goal there. Throws it way out of proportion. Unfortunately, Endorser not able to repeat his stellar performance of a minute ago.
Small mechanical misplay. Could have been played a little bit better by him, but still, the idea is there. It's still pressure.
The Hemo Plague and the ults come out. Rengar is going to... Right out of... The ult comes down from Rengar to get on your tower. No cleaver lands on Anivia. He's actually going to live. Now the body block is here. Anivia gets out of there with a sliver. Well played by him on this Azir. It's an almost, you know, a pretty decent solo fight against Rengar's Vlad.
Very decent fight. Throws him into the tower. And because he throws him into the tower, he's able to buy time for Varte to show up to clean up this play. And that's exactly what happens. And what's actually even better, Azir gets the kill in the end.
So good for him. The first kill of the game, even on CS as well. Gotta be happy with that one. Varte is just everywhere he needs to be. Whenever there's a fight going down, Varte is there to support on this Skarner, doing a lot of work on this champion pick once again.
And this is why Vuptrox picked up this jungler. You can see why. Varte is making so much happen with whatever he can do. Be it dives or whatever, he's trying to make stuff happen, he's being proactive. He now has that gargoyles, he's going to be even more tankier and harder to kill when he goes for these plays.
Yeah, and there's no shortage of damage really from Vuptrox. Early in the game though it might be, Sivir is scaling up nicely, Azir's almost got the Morellos completed, and Urgot's damage obviously scales nicely into that mid and late game as well. So he can just go full tank, be the engage, be the hair trigger that his team needs to start off these fights, as now they're converging on this bot lane tower and actually forcing out a teleport.
Also, a little bit more praise coming to Varte as well. He has kept up really well in terms of vision in this game too. Usually he's fell behind to Kajak. Kajak has done really well to control vision in a lot of these games. Even in the losing games, he's done really well to control vision. This time, Varte is keeping up. He's trying to deny whatever he can, and because of this, he's able to make more of these plays.
He's playing so well around this bottom mid side. All Endorser really has to do is just keep top lane, you know, in check, just keep it fine, commit his ultimate, and maybe come into some fights with nice CPs, and he is going to be sitting pretty right now. The next Dragon Timer, as you can see coming up there, is an Infernal. This could be a bit of a firecracker, no pun intended, going into this one. See the TP coming in from Azir. He does not want to miss the start of this play. So Endorsers is ready too. I think that this is going to be our first real pitched battle of this game.
Definitely so, with top lane having teleport too. Urgot's trying to pressure in that top lane, ready for this bot lane fight. He does have good wards to teleport to. He has many options. There's one over the side, there's a couple in the pit, there's some behind. There's many options for him, but Vladimir does have his flank.
Predator's come out and gone down for the Skarner almost. He's not going to get used to that. He's actually got the free turret top lane, and now they see that. Here comes the TP. This is going to be the pitch fight. And Nivea's on the side. They're grouped up nicely. Endorser goes up to start fights with Black Eater. Varte's trying to get a nice hook onto the Fury. But now they got locked up. Chrisley has to go into an early stopwatch to survive. He's got to flash away, but he can't survive. Rengar pops him, but he gets counter-popped by Nivea. Now this fight is going back and forth. You see Black Eater goes down. The Piggy has to go into an early stopwatch there. Fair dives forward, but doesn't actually get anything done. A binding comes down, but now the Mystic shots. But Anivia, he throws those shoulder forwards, and they spear that Ezreal on the end of them. And now this is so close. They're so low. Kajak is super low. He's gonna go if he gets the dragon at least. Fury, the ultimate comes down and resurrects that Sejuani, and now it is a 2v1, but he goes down. Endorser in Kajak, he flashes away. It's a 4-for-4, and the Infernal Drake goes the way of Orthrus Gaming.
So it's a win for Orthrus Gaming in the end, but a 4-for-4 when your prime carry gets that low is so good for Vuptrox. So we see here the flanks are just so prevalent for Orthrus. They're playing off really well, and they struggle to make something happen. They try to pick off the Vlad early, it doesn't happen. Vlad pulls it really well. Mundo keeps Urgot out of this fight for a long time. See, Vladimir's just building up his empowerment on the dragon, and he's just ready to go in. He has it right time, flushes in, gets the Hemo Plague down onto 2, but can't sustain any longer after he's shoved back by Azir. Urgot gets a massive Fear Beyond Death. This is a big turn for this fight, and what actually makes a big difference. Because Fair isn't able to get more. He gets caught by binding, picked off. And because of that,
death rush here from Vuptrox. They've learned, they had some good reads on it in game 1. Didn't work out that time, but they're playing for it. Here comes Kajak. Varte's got no ultimate yet. He needs, now it's just come online. He's surely going to grab him to use it. Here they go. This is a 5v1. This is the bulliest of circles. It's a 4v1, I should say, but it's an easy shutdown at the very least. Azir's coming over. They might consider the Baron with Rengar waiting in the wings. This could get very spicy very quickly as Black Eater's taking a turret in the bottom lane. They're trying to converge. Here comes that redemption. Azir now is on the backline. He's going to be able to do some damage from a safe position. They don't want to commit to this one. They want to try and get a fight. Chrisley's going very low again. The Baron is chunking him down. He's the only one left in the pit. He's got to be very careful about these attacks. A nice bomb. He can't go near there. Another Baron finishes it off. This is going from bad to worse for Vuptrox. This is an incredibly shaky play. They're getting pushed out of the pit now themselves as Black Eater has taken a whole extra turret on that bot side. 2 extra turrets on that bot side. That was just a fumble and a half for Vuptrox.
2 free towers for 1 attempt at a Baron play. And as soon as they see Vladimir, their best effort there would be moving up river. Moving down river enabled Zilean to get that double bomb. Because he got that double bomb, Sivir dies. The best case scenario, they run up river because they see 1 member. Mundo is caught out now.
Onto Sablaki, and he can't get past the great Azir to actually trap him completely. Very nice pickup by Hello to Nivea, but the Baron has been starting on the other side. Varte knows it. He is in there. He's got his flash. He doesn't have his smite though. Predator is ready. No ultimate. They're actually going to peel off. Varte scares them just with his presence, and now he kind of wants to keep it going. He's not quite sure. Vuptrox punished last time with their indecision. Endorser, he knows he wants to go in. He's righteous glorying in, and now he has to walk away. Chrisley's arrived with that warpath. Nothing really is going on. They're not really sure if they want to be in or out. The ultimate comes back online, and now Fury gets completely wasted, or I should say fair. The ultimate goes down. Rengar's Hemo Plague is burning away. Hello, it's Sinivia, chumping out those damages. Chrisley, he is still alive. He's going to try and take down Rengar. They do get him down. Both the carries of Vuptrox still alive. Surely this is a 4v3 they can win. They're so low, though. The blue buff is actually hitting Anivia. He's going to try and take it down. He's going to just about live. Fair throwing out these Mystic shots. He's been hit by Binding. He is surely going to get caught up now. He gets over the wall, and the shutdown onto Anivia. Now Kaijak is freaking having it in the backline. The TP from Tsubaki to save the day. He comes in, and it's OG, the white Vuptrox. They push Vortray away from the Baron, and now they can maybe try and secure it for themselves.
What a hectic play. They got trapped in the jungle of Orthrus Gaming because they lingered around so long. You can watch here, see them commit. They get the kill, but the Zillion ult is there. Ezreal does get out for the time being, and Vladimir's demanding so much presence in that back line. Urgot gets killed on the sideline. No one even noticed that Urgot died that early in the fight. Sejuani ultimate was the reason Azir actually more or less dies here, because she comes back around, she is able to find him. Ezreal's just poking away bit by bit before he dies. Just such an overextend, and because it's so extended, Mundo has time to come back into this fight.
It's just they can't quite clear off Fair and Fury at that point. If they cleared them out, they can go upwards and they don't have to deal with it. They can kite out Tsubaki Eater because he'd already flashed over the wall, but it's so close. A battle of absolute millimeters here. This Game 5 is living up to our expectations. They're less than 3k gold aside at 26 minutes. 13 kills for OG, 12 kills for Vuptrox, both with scaling comps. This is turning out to be an absolute slobber knocker. The next target in Vuptrox headlights normally, I imagine, would be the Dragon here.
It should be the Dragon next. And we see no hesitation on slowing down this game. Both teams are taking it to each other. This is what you want for a 5-game series.
They've caught out Fair. They've caught him out. They fear beyond death. Tim, the 9999 damage, jumps him away, and he is going to get taken down. That's going to be the Baron secured. Kaijak wants him for a steal. He's gone in a little early, though. It's getting pretty low. They are going to push him away from that stone plate. They force the flash out. Baron, Dragon resets, I should say, but is easily secured by Vuptrox. Fair caught out of position. Endorser just actually, he's allowed to just E straight onto him and flip him back. How does an Ezreal get caught by an Urgot?
Just right place, right time, denial of vision. Vision was denied, Ezreal had no idea, but at the same point, if you're fair, you shouldn't be traveling alone at this point in the game, knowing that one play could win or lose you the game.
Gets right on top of him here, nice stun, instantly tags that ultimate on him, so even if he gets away, there's no chance to escape. Nice route as well. Clean as you like it. They are going to get the Dragon. It's not a huge swing at this point. They're still down in gold, but that's the kind of thing that if you see mistakes being made like that, that can be your window to this victory.
To deny a second mountain to the side of Orthrus Gaming is massive. Them getting a second mountain could be the difference between them setting up more sieges, more split pushes. We already seen Mundo take 2 towers for free. Well, imagine if they had a second mountain. They could have done more with that. So denying that is massive.
We've seen a little bit of Rengar throughout this game. We've seen some big flash ultimates coming in for him, and I want to see if he's going to become more impactful as this goes on. He's almost got the Rabadons completed. We saw how much damage he was doing at that point before. There's not a huge amount of MR on the side of Vuptrox either. Neither of the carries have any way of actually surviving if they the full combo on the chin. And now the Baron for OG is at least shoving them in here. They are pushed behind their tower. There's a lot of poke being thrown back and forth. Lepiggy's bindings have been pretty on point. They've got to watch out for Fury's bombs. They've got to watch out for Azir's damage. This is getting very, very close. Azir is actually going to go back to base. It looks like they will just retreat and let this cannon minion do its work. No one's committing to a full fight just yet.
So I feel like they mainly got the Sivir here just for wave clear, and that's the only thing the Sivir's actually showing up for me in this game. I still feel like the Jinx pick would have been more prevalent for your team. Sivir had to build defensively, and she's just had to use on the hunt.
Flashing from Rengar. Here's the commitment. Anivia is surely going to go down. Christy is in base, nowhere to be seen. A lovely stopwatch is going to keep Azir alive. This could be pivotal. He's going to have to recall to try and get back without dying. Can they spot him out? Christy is alive, Azir is alive, and Urgot's alive. That's going to be an inhibitor at the very least. Baron has gone down though. This won't be the end of the game. They don't want to overcommit to it. They don't want to get shuffled or destroyed by those carry damages. OG, they take another big step towards this victory, but they don't take the win just yet.
So there was 100 stacks on that Spellbind of Vladimir. That's why they went for this big play, knowing that he could flash forward and maybe one-shot 1 or 2 people. The only reason Azir lives is because of that stopwatch. If they didn't have stopwatch, he was guaranteed dead. And they could have probably pressured for more, but knowing that Azir didn't die, they sort of backed off. Baron ran out. Just more reasons for them to just back off and go base, knowing that they can probably take another fight very convincingly.
Yeah, they will have not too long to wait before the Baron comes back for them. Now the inhibitor's down, they've got the pressure in their favor. Items are coming through very quickly for these teams. We've got 3 or 4 items coming on almost everyone in this game. There isn't really anyone slouching at this point. Everyone has been throwing their full weight into this game. Chrisley maybe is the only one who's had a little bit of a quieter performance than usual, but he's still got those 2 items, and he's going to be fast going towards that third. If he can get some kills picked up and stave off the advances, we could see him really hit the power spike on the Sivir.
Right now, it's currently quite a decent power spike for him anyway, getting an Essence Reaver and the IE to go. It's already going to be critting really hard in these team fights if he can get the ricochets off. If he can get that off, might be able to do a lot more in these fights without Vlad doing bad things.
Well, that's an unfortunate sad buy of a single null magic mantle, but when you just get flashed on by the Vlad, you know, I can understand the thought process behind that one. He does not want to see hide and hair of that one. You think that's going to go straight into the Mercurial Scimitar, or maybe just into a Quicksilver, into something else?
It could go into the Quicksilver. I think that's the more likely of the few, because getting caught by SQ1 is still an option. Despite being Sivir, you can still get caught. There's a lot of things what can actually blow your spell shield and make you an option for SQ1, so I do think it will go into a QSS, but there's still plenty of time to see what it could build into.
Yeah, we see the Sun Disc coming down for Azir in this mid lane, trying to bide time for this inhib to come back up. Kajak waiting in the wings, looking for a spicy ultimate once that tower goes down maybe, but they are playing it very close to the chest. So Black Eater, he's gone down into that bot lane, is going to get matched by Endorser. And I feel like at this point, now that the Baron is up, you're going to have another Baron dance, we're going to have another big 5v5, but we might not actually get the chances. I believe they've started the Baron up for the side of OG.
And with Savaki in the bot lane as well, he's ready there to pressure, knowing that they can just keep him in the side lane safely. Why they do the Baron?
Warpath. They've come down the Sivir ultimate, they're getting in this fast and furious. They don't want to give this one up, but they don't want to run straight into a pincer trap. Rengar's got the empowered Q. He knows he can do some damage, but here comes the TP. So Black Eater has not used his. That is so critical that they don't have that anymore. And they've just peeled off the Baron. They've baited it out completely. This is going to be a potential bot lane tower for OG.
It will definitely be a bot lane tower, because what can they do? He's already on it. He's hitting away. He's getting it for free. There's Zillion's flash gone. Ezreal has dash away.
Oh, perfect Sejuani stun to stop Varte. Here comes Rengar. He has actually been bound up. He's not got a huge amount of damage off. He's been Skarner ulted. He is getting pulled in, but the Zillion ult keeps him alive again. They've actually pushed in Kajak, and Nivea is on the sideline doing a lot of damage. Bear now, eating forwards, gets chunked out instantly, has to flash away, and Nivea goes in 1v4. He's had to flash away. Rengar is super low. Lepiggy is low. Black Eater is wreaking havoc on this backline. Varte's getting pushed away. Chrisley, oh, we might get a catch out on this Vladimir. The coup does not quite kill him. That's so unfortunate for Chrisley. It would have been so amazing if they killed that Vlad, but they end up just losing their support and nothing else.
They nearly get fair too. He wasn't paying attention to his screen, and actually nearly pays his life.
That's so critical that they don't get it, and now the Vlad can TP straight back in for round 2 at this Baron. Fair as well, his TP is up, he's going to come in, and this is surely going to be the Baron secured for OG. What a tight battle there to secure those kills, and overall it's OG. They get another advantage in their pocket. Kajak actually gets the Zillion ult put on him just to make sure he lives. It's not too long of a cooldown, so it's not a huge problem. I mean, Chrisley and Azir, they're going to pick up a dragon, but at this point, OG, they've got all the tools they need to close this one out.
I think a lot of it has just been the lack of commitment from Vuptrox. Vuptrox had opportunities to commit, with Mundo just sitting in that bot lane, nearly getting an inhibitor. When you've TP'd with that Urgot, you need to pull the trigger and go hard, otherwise you're going to have to go home. And they got sent home empty-handed, no Baron, nothing. And right now, this is heavily in favor of Orthrus Gaming.
Now, cast your minds, friends, back to every single game you've seen Vuptrox in, where they're trapped inside their base against an enemy team with all of the seeming advantages and they're about to win the game. How many times have we seen Vuptrox inexplicably defend for minutes on end, come back to win the game, and just delay it so much longer than it needs to be? This team are so skilled at defending their base from what we have seen that I would not be surprised at all if they manage to stall out this Baron, and they have a team that does have a good idea of how to do it.
They do indeed, and they're looking for a play in the mid lane.
Arte's gone in, he's got the Vlad on the suppression, but he's not killed him off. There comes a stun, but they can't finish it. They're all getting bunched up, surely. Rengo gets destroyed by the Aatrox, and now Azir's taken down. He has been taken on with Black Eater, but he's traded with Fair. There's no carries left for OG. They've done it inexplicably. They have won this fight. Endorser shuts down Sublaki. They are chasing OG out of their base. Vuptrox, they get the miracle fight, and they hold on even longer.
Hey, CJ, do you want to just, give me lottery tickets and just give me the numbers? Because it feels like you already know what's happening in advance.
We've gone right down this
mid lane. They've won the fight. Now they're getting this tower.
They've only got the one minion, but they're keeping it alive for that tower damage. They're gonna get a counter inhib. Their inhibs come up as well. They surely can't go for the end, not with only 15 seconds on the carries for OG, but they have stabilized and then some.
They definitely have, and right now it's swinging back to Vuptrox Gaming. We see how they take this fight. They pick the Vlad at the start. You think this is good, but then it looks like Vlad's going to turn it around with the Hemo Plague he gets into the back line, and Anivia being caught by the Sejuani ultimate. But they're actually able to sustain this. Sivir is free hitting while that Shariva shuffle is going off. And then they're able to get the Fear Beyond Death, I believe. I can't remember entirely. Losing my mind. Getting run down.
Yeah, gets him there. But I think the Endorser fired off a knee shot onto the Vlad at the same time as Shurima Shuffle came through. It was a big enough burst that Rengar just exploded, just had no idea what was going on, instantly died. And now they've actually stabilized. They've got the mid inhib down, theirs are exposed, yes, but they don't have to deal with those super minions in mid lane. Not Inferno Drake, Elder Drake is coming up before too long. Baron is going to run out before too long. They are actually in a much better position now, as they've got 4 items on Azir. They've got 3 and a couple of bits completed on the Sivir now. They've got that nice 3-item spike with the Executioner's Calling. They've got Morello's is. They've got the Mortal Reminder. My brain is melting out my ears on this season right now. I've said it again, series, not season. I can't keep control of it, dude. This is just too hype for me. They've got the Sundisk down in mid lane. They've got this nice mid lane pushing out for them. What do Vuptrox need to do to actually get into the base, the enemy base, and take a win?
They just need to keep this up their pace right now. Sure, you're behind on gold, but you're slowly getting items, you're slowly clawing back at the things you need. You need gold, you need items. Getting these items is actually going to be the saving grace of them. The team fight in a base, they can get another one like that, they can take it.
I feel like it's so powerfully hinging on Rengar. If he doesn't get value out of this champion, he's a 4-item Vlad with Spellbinders, Rabadons. Like, if you're getting assaulted by this guy and you are Azir, like if Anivia gets hit by this, he's just gonna die. There's nothing that can save him there without Azanias, surely. So I feel like if Rengar can make good use out of his engage and his damage, they will win. And if he gets CC'd, if he gets caught up, if he gets Urgot ulted or anything, that is going to be the key to Vuptrox winning.
Rengar is at 100 Spellbinder stacks right now as well. Yeah. So he is at a very scary point where he can actually blow someone up completely. If he can get this flank, which he's been looking for in these fights, if he gets that, that can be the difference. Right now he's trying to look for a side lane, trying to look for a side bush to sit in, he's trying to find a way around them.
They don't have any other TP. They've got Fair's TP and Sivlaki's, but they're coming in already. They have all the TPs on the side of Vuptrox. If they get a nice fight, they could TP maybe to a wave and get a lot more that they actually needed. This is currently 5v5 around this Elder Dragon. This could be the kicker that gets this final game to its finish.
The thing here, there is 3 teleports on the side of Vuptrox. If they just bait this and just let the mid push, they could have just teleported mid and maybe end.
Yeah, they're walking back. Sivlaki's just going very deep, and the rest of OG's committing for the dragon, but now Varte, he got a hook onto someone. The Brazilian out's come down. Sivlaki is just 1v3 in the back. The Elder Dragon's be secured by OG though. This fight just got a lot easier for them, and now Bear's going in. He's doing so much damage on the backside. Rengar is still on the side. A huge Saswani ult, and they just get wiped out. Vuptrox get destroyed. It's a clean ace for 1. OG, they finally find the fight off an amazing Kaijek Sejuani ult. They are going to shove in this bot lane, and Varus, I think they may have just taken the series.
I believe they definitely have. I don't think you needed to start the Elder Dragon if you decided Vuptrox. I feel like that was such a big oversight. If you let that mid lane push, you could let them start the Elder Dragon. They don't have empowered recalls if they get Elder Dragon. you could literally end through a back door with 3 teleports going in mid, and while the other 2 stopped the recalls, but it wasn't enough. Sovaki zoned everyone out in that team fight, and because he could, he got the Elder Dragon, was able to fight with this Elder Dragon to be able to take this team fight. Kajak got an important ult into Vladimir, just destroying the entire backline. We see them start it here. Start moving down river. Looking good to start with, but with Mundo being able to just run into your backline for free like that, you backed off up, not towards your carries. Your 2 carries are exploited to Mundo right now. Mundo is just wreaking havoc in your backline. You had to go front to back, otherwise you lose. Instead, they didn't go front to back. They're slowly losing this fight more and more and more. See, Varte is nearly dead already before this fight even commences fully.
They can't get through Sovaki with that Gargoyles, and there's nothing they can do. They have to use the Shurima ult as well, and look at this combination. The Sejuani ult, the Vladimir ult, the Vladimir Tides of Blood, the E as well, just completely shreds through their carries, and the Elder buff burning away all the while. That is just such exceptional play here. OG, they got pushed to their absolute limit today. We have never seen the team tested in this way. I think they had 1 loss in the regular season to Fuzzy Esports, but this, they had to pull out all the stops. They were pushed so far in so many different ways, and Vuptrox, we cannot praise them enough. This run that they've built for themselves, they were a mid-level team coming in, they squeaked into playoffs, and then they took out Royal Reapers, they almost took out Orthrus Gaming. This is just an amazing performance for this team.
They definitely have a lot to be proud of. They don't have much to be upset about because they took the game to Orthrus Gaming. They took them to 5 games and took them to their absolute limits. Sure, there's some mechanical misplays, sure, there's some stuff they can slightly work on, but they're slowly improving to a better and better team. With the addition of Varte, they showed more prevalence in their plays. They started to show more glimpses of them just playing as a better team. Their bot lane looked really consistent and just really well rounded. So if you're Vuptrox, you still should be happy with this. This is still really good for you, and I feel like overall they played really well, but Orthrus Gaming today were the better team.
Exactly. I don't think I would be the only one to say that. I wish absolutely for Vuptrox to stick around for any further splits that we can do. I would love to have them back on here. I'd love to cast them. They're such a great team. They're so powerful and they're so exciting to watch. But overall, it was Orthrus Gaming who took the victory here. Varys, if I might ask, this is probably a tricky one. I think there's a lot of candidates here. Could you fathom out an MVP for this series?
I still think, personally, it is Kajak. It's between that and Sovaki. Sure, Rengar had amazing performances, but both Kajak and Sovaki provided so much presence in every game they've played. Even in games from behind, Sovaki, the first game on Mundo, despite being behind, he was still running people down. He was still causing pressure in team fights while everyone else was behind. So I still believe it's between those two, and I'll let you pick one of those two, CJ. Oh. So you get a decision between those two, because Kajak, again, put so much pressure on the map. He did so many good counter ganks, early ganks, to get his team ahead, to secure objectives. He took so many dragons, heralds. He was just such a good player this series, both of them too.
Yeah, I think if I had to hazard a guess, it would be great to give it to both of them. I have to give honorable mention to Chrisley from the other team as well. I think that his performance throughout this whole series was just super consistent with some really high highs as well, and I really want to make sure that he gets the recognition he deserves. Lepiggy as well had some very good moments. Varte really picked it up once they got him in that Skarner pick, but I think I am going to have to agree and give it to Kajak. I think that he was just so consistent. The first 2 games on those Elise games were so excellent by him. Amazing objective control. And it seems like the way they're playing, he seems like a big voice on the team in leading them and directing them and how they're going to play out, decisions they're going to make. And I think that he did have, there were rough times during those games, but he was never down and out. He was always trying to make things happen. And I just have to give him the full respect for that. I think that Kajak is probably going to be our MVP for this semifinal, as Orthrus progress through to the finals next week. Tomorrow, we have our other semifinal that is actually CBA versus Fuzzy Esports. Should be another devastating series, I would hope. This one has absolutely delivered, and I need to go and rest my voice, honestly, because it's my throat's just going to dissolve into sand. Do you have any final words for us, Ferris, before we sign off?
I mean, just keep series like this coming. These series are so fun to cast, despite us being really tired at the end of it. It's still insane to cast. Like, both teams were just taking it to each other, constant aggression. That's all you need to do. Just be aggressive, go your limits, prove what you can do, show what you can do. That's all you have to do if you're any team in this league, and a lot of these teams have showed this and showed up, so I'm impressed just overall with how well both teams played. And I wish them both the best of luck, honestly. I'd love to both of them to stick around, of course. And I hope the games we have tomorrow are just going to be as action-packed.
I hope so just as much. Sadly, we will not be casting that, but we'll be tuning in, as we hope all of you will be, tomorrow at the same time in the same place. I have been CJ. Casting alongside me has been Varys. This has been the SQ1 Summer Split semi-finals. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching.